At the time of this recording, Brian and I had already been living in our schoolie for 2 weeks. We were starting to get pretty tired of taking sink baths, so the shower took major priority. Since both of the projects we were working on were in tight quarters, we decided to divide and conquer. It's kind of funny looking back on this now because these projects were the dirtiest of them all. No wonder we were dying for a shower. I need to sand the little loose bits and like, I don't know, anything I can kind of sand smooth on the thin set that's on the Kerdi board. I'm gonna try really hard to avoid the Kerdi. I'll show you what I've done so far. You probably can't really tell, but I've gone over all of this. You can kind of see the like lighter parts, just like cleaned it up a little bit, and I've been cleaning up all of this. It actually does feel quite a bit smoother. So I don't know if you can see here, we've got some like lumpy bumps. I'm gonna go in here and just kind of smooth that down, so then we can prime, and then all the other steps. There's a lot of steps. We're not gonna really talk about the product that we're using, not because we're not sponsored or anything, we don't care about that, but this company did us a solid and sold the product to us when they're not really supposed to, because they only sell to big businesses, of course, and yeah, so you won't probably even be able to get this product, so us giving you like the dirty details about how we're doing it probably won't do you any good. So we're not going to go into too much detail about like what it is. We'll just kind of tell you what we're doing, okay? Okay, so I'm about to start preparing the shower for the cement. We're doing cement. We're gonna do cement on the whole surround of the shower. I'm going to tape off the ceiling because this curve poses a bit of a scary situation. It's not so much the primer that I'm worried about, it's once I start getting into the cement. So I've got 2 coats of primer and then cement. And once we start getting into that, I think things are gonna get a little bit messy. First step, we're going to dampen this sponge, and then we're gonna give the walls a little bit of a sponge bath. Not leaving it soaked or dripping, but just dampening it a bit. I gotta say, it's really nice having running water in here. Like, dreamy. Here we go. I gotta admit, this is going to be pretty interesting because for almost all of the products, I don't know what the working time is once you start working with the product to like it being too dry or too tacky or whatever. So I'm gonna have to really move my butt to make sure that I work fast and efficient. So I'm really making sure that I have like all my stuff set up before I get going. That's pretty smart for like, I don't know, really any project you're working on like this, is to be prepared for what you're doing. But I haven't done, like I've done a lot of like puttying and stuff like that, but I have not done cement, so it should be interesting. It's probably a good thing that I'm doing this sponge thing, because as I wipe the walls with the sponge, I can hear little pieces dropping. Listen.
Shake it a little bit.
Yeah. Shake the whole bus.
Yeah.
Okay, here's primer. Here we go. Okay, so for this portion, we're gonna need a brush, a roller, a paint tray, and the primer. Usually, when I'm doing a paint project, I'll start by going around with the brush and just doing all of my edging first, and then I fill in the blanks with the roller. I've always found that to be the most simple way to do it, the most thorough and the most clean, because the roller will clean up the brush marks. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm done edging. It's time to roll it on. Woohoo! Oh, this is gonna be so good. The stuff I did along the edges is already starting to dry, so I have a good feeling that we're gonna be waiting more like 2 hours instead of 3 hours for this stuff to cure, and so we can get into the second coat of the primer. And then I'm doing the first coat of flexible cement. So Brian and I are kind of getting to the point where we're pulling crazy long hours because we're living in here now, and honestly we just want to get this thing done. So we're pulling kind of ridiculous hours to make it happen, and we're really tired. The reality is we haven't had a shower for 2 weeks, and we're ready to have a shower. We've been having bird baths out of the kitchen sink. So it's time to get this shower done. And with the wait time on this thing, we're looking at like 15 days until we can have a shower. And just like that, the first coat's on. A little paint trick that I like to do is put the roller, the brush, and the trough or tray into a bag and just seal it up and leave it in the cold. So we'll just set it in the barn until we're ready to do the second coat, and that'll keep everything moist instead of letting it dry up. That way we can use it again. Oh no, dinner's almost ready, and I gotta put the Schluter thing on. The shower, these guys. Let's get this up before the food's ready. It ain't no thing, just some peanut butter chocolate chip chickpea cookies. Okie dokie! So it's the next day. We didn't do a marathon because by the time those things dried, it was like midnight. So doing one more coat of primer and then waiting 3 hours and doing cement, it would have been like 4 a.m. by the time we were done, and neither of us were game for that. And I'd rather do stuff when I'm a little more fresh. So we are back at it today. I have one more coat of primer to put on this, and then we get to start with the flexible cement. Woo! It's that time, concrete, flexible concrete. Okay, so the fabulous leaflets taught us that you put water in the bucket and then you dump the concrete in until it's the consistency you want. The measurements are very vague. Go. I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm so excited!
How excited?
I'm excited! Ah, really excited.
Minute 47, 46.
there's quite literally nowhere for my body when you guys are in the shower with me. I'll see if maybe Brian can come film this part. Hold on. Fill it in. This is hard.
Checking back in.
I'm alive!
She's alive and she's in a white shower.
I'm almost done with the curve, but I thought I better do this corner first so then I can like smooth off of that edge. Whew.
Nice. I'm gonna take a peek. Oh wow. Oh damn.
Just a little bit like,
Home stretch.
yeah.
And then dinner?
Yeah.
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 Do you want me to start making dinner?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start making dinner.
Yeah.
You're doing such a good job.
I'm almost done. It looks so good.
Yeah.
I'm really, really pleased with it. I'm done. The first round. Check it out.
I got all the swing in me. I got all the 1, 2, 3. I got all the swing in me. Dance with me, dance with me. I got all the swing in me.
I'm sore and dirty. The funny thing is, Brian and I are both doing the dirtiest jobs right now, and we don't have a shower. But we're so close. Oh, this stuff. We're gonna sand that off. Get rid of that stuff. But I think it turned out really good. It's hard to show you guys just like how big this shower is. I mean, there's my footprint in the shower. It's so great. I love the trowel marks. Really cool. Sorry, our lens is really messed up. Since we started welding by the lens, we kind of screwed up the lens. And lenses are expensive, so bear with us.
I'm pro.
That technique. The goal is certainly not to make this perfect. I love the trowel marks. I'm just smoothing off the jibbly bits. Now for the curve. Hi!
How's it going?
Good.
Nice.
You like that sound?
Yeah.
Probably show my ear pro.
I made this piece.
I am priming.
Nice.
Yeah.
How'd the sanding go?
The sanding went great. I scuffed it up with the trowel, did a quick sandaroonie, vacuumed it. It's awesome.
What grit did you use?
One sec. 80.
80 grit. Cool.
80 grit. Yeah, it worked great. Now I'm just doing all the corners and spots that the roller won't do, and I'm gonna go over it with the roller. This is kind of like making it a bit darker, but I'm sure that the finishing cement is going to be white. I hope it's white and everything else is clear.
It's at least what they told us.
That's what they told us. If not, it's going to be creamy.
It might also be the reflection of the warm light because it's 3000 Kelvin.
Dirty old Calvin.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I'm almost done with this. And then I'll roll it on. Then we're gonna wait 20 minutes and do the cement finish.
Cute.
What do you think, silly?
I think that's great. Look at that technique.
It's like when you paint.
You kind of are.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty much painting, so I'm doing kind of like a W formation because that will hopefully get more of the crevasses.
Historically speaking, the crevasses have been gotten more efficiently with a double U.
Double a la U. It's time for the fresh on fresh.
Fresh on fresh.
You guys are like, what? And I'm like, fresh on fresh. It was on the technical leaflet to do it fresh on fresh.
Sounds pretty fresh.
Nobody explained fresh on fresh, but I think I got it.
Sounds pretty fresh.
All right, like I did the first layer of cement, I'm going to go around the edge first of the first wall, and then I am going to fill it in, and I'm gonna do that like all around the edges of the stuff, just because that worked really nice. So this layer is the cement finish. I may have to do 2 layers. I'm hoping I only have to do 1, but we will see.
It's looking good, silly. It's looking nice and smooth.
Yeah. We might still have to do another coat just to like level out. I'm doing my best to like level out where the thin set held the bands, because that stuff kind of like had a protrusion and then there was kind of a prominent line like all around the edging. So I'm doing my best to kind of smooth that out and like fill it in. So if that works, we may not need another coat. I don't really know what I'm looking for when it comes to another coat or not. So we'll just keep troweling.
Trial and error.
Troweling my day away.
Yeah.
I love this. This is so relaxing.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for visiting.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's looking really nice.
And thank you for sticking around.
I guess that's where that dude's corner trowel comes in handy.
That guy's corner trowel looks like a freaking miracle. I got a little bit in there. Smooth out. There's kind of a gap at the bottom. This is a lot more sloppy than the first round. Looking good though. I'm ready to do the center of this wall now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna look really nice.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so excited about it.
I like how smooth it is now,
Yeah.
but you still have trail marks.
Yeah.
You like the trail marks?
I love the trail marks.
All right. Good. We're both on the same page with some sexy looking trowel marks, as if you were like in Mexico or Central or South America or even in Spain or something, and you had like really cool concrete architecture in bathrooms. We've been in several Airbnbs that had some pretty cool work, like in Oaxaca.
Yeah.
Remember that like blue place?
The whole place was concrete. It was
Yeah.
so gorgeous, and ever since then we've pretty much been obsessed with it. Like, how can we do this in the bus?
Yeah.
And then this and the curve.
Whew, sexy.
Couldn't even help it. Couldn't help it.
Yeah.
Had to go for it.
So we did. Ooh, it's bright out here, Miss Bick.
It's fantastic.
These four?
These are for, oh, I didn't even tell you. This is the pebbles that Brian and I hand-picked from a landscaping company. We're gonna do our own pebble floor in the shower instead of buying a prefab thing, which is gorgeous and everything. We just wanted to not spend triple the amount of money on stones.
Does that make sense?
So
Pretty
we're gonna make our
cool.
own. Plus then we can choose our own design and it won't be like a repetitive pattern. It'll be random, like at a beach. These green ones are just killing me. So cute.
What's cool is like
Love
as
them.
they get wet, they change. They
Yeah.
seem to be more vibrant than when they're dry.
Yeah, of course. I think that putting a coating on them will do that permanently.
Oh,
so they don't have
nice.
to be wet to have that. I just have to find out, like I hope that it doesn't make them slippery, but I have heard that you coat them.
Yep.
And I think that's why I bought those 2 different coatings. Those green ones are incredible. There's some like light blue ones that are really cool too. Okay, now I'm gonna put up a sheet of plastic to block off the bathroom from the rest of the bus the best that I can. Because I'm about ready to sand this substrate, which is gonna be a mess. I'm gonna hook up the sander to the vacuum now, so that should help a lot. Let's go. It's not amazing, but it'll work. I decided to go with 220 grit because Brian and I really like the trowel marks in the wall. We think it looks sweet and we want to keep them as much as we can. We just want to make sure that we smooth it out enough that it's easy to clean. While I'm thinking about it, I want to mention that the company we're working with on this said that this stuff is not recommended for RV application. I only say that to cover my ace, like they also were trying to cover their ace. The thing that Brian and I have talked about many times is how many places we have stayed at and different countries, sorry, that we have stayed in that use concrete for everything. They use it for their floors, walls, all over the place. Mexico, Colombia, Nicaragua, Guatemala, like so many countries in Central America and even Spain use concrete in shower surrounds, like everything. Everything. And most of those countries that we've been to experience a high volume of earthquakes, like Oaxaca, Mexico. When we were there, we experienced several earthquakes. We even saw some big cracks kind of form in the concrete, which just adds to the character. Thus why it's actually kind of cool to leave this texture on the concrete. So if you do get a crack, it's like whatever. I don't think it really matters. You can just like maybe put a little more sealant on it or fill it in with a little more concrete if it's a bad one. The reason, which is which is definitely the reason that we chose concrete over tile. I'm sure that if you went to a tile person and you said, hey, we're gonna put tile in our RV, they'd be like, we don't recommend that. It's a moving vehicle, it's vibrating, everything you do in the vehicle is taking some kind of a risk. This entire conversion is a science experiment. So take it with a grain of salt. I think that if creativity is flowing through you and you're using your head and you're thinking about the actions that you're taking and what you're building, you build it the best you can. And that's all you can do. And the beauty of building it yourself is the fact that you built it yourself so you can fix it too. And 2 cups of water.
I got all the swing in me. I got all the 1, 2, 3. I got all the swing in me. Dance with me, dance with me. I got all the swing in me. I got all the 1, 2, 3. I got all the swing in me. Dance with me.
Okay, we've made it to the final step. Now, this final step may need to be done twice. I don't really know how you tell, but there's an option for twice. So, if we can figure out how to get this lid off, we can get rolling. What I'm gonna need to do is mix these 2 containers, or these 2 products. I've got like a, what is this? Polysporadic, and I think this other guy's like a hardener or something. Whatever. It's a top coat. I do 1-to-1. Try to get the lid off without breaking my nails. You guys are sure getting comfortable sitting on our toilet. I can tell you like it. We're still getting used to the whole composting toilet thing, but we don't mind it. Ryan's just sitting on the throne.
Here on the can.
The gal said to only mix small batches of this stuff. I have 25 minutes to get it on, so I'm gonna have to move it. Whoop. Alright, I'm gonna start with my edges just like I've done this whole time. Oh, this brush is nice.
Nice.
This stuff feels really thick compared to the other stuff. I was instructed not to put it on too thick because it will dribble drip.
Dribble drip. Don't want no goober gobbers.
No goober gobbers. And I feel like this stuff is so thick that it, if it starts to drip, you might not catch it in time and it'll just look like Scheisehausen.
Scheisehausen.
Oh yeah, it says do like east-west, east-west, north-south, east-west strokes. How many minutes do I have left, Garcia?
19 minutes, 48 seconds. You're doing really good because I think once you get to the roller part, you're gonna make some massive gains.
Massive gains.
Yeah. I bet you that you're gonna have 10 minutes left.
I'm gonna beat it?
Yeah, I think you're gonna have 10 minutes left on the clock.
Wow. We're gonna put my skills with the rollers to test. Ooh.